So,
Next.
what we want to talk about today is loneliness.
Oh,
It's a heavy topic. Loneliness, we saw a really tough version of it during COVID, but mainly loneliness from the standpoint of if you're in your 30s all the way over to where we are now in our 50s and 60s, it is a challenging thing to manage the ups and downs of life and the effects of loneliness on our health, our emotional state, our mental health, our um, our vitality, our strength. Like loneliness is such a big part of, I don't know, I don't want to say it's a part of life, but it does become debilitating depending on whatever your stressors are. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
yes, I was trying to make sense in my mind. I think that is part of our life.
It's part of our lives. So it's Ingrid here, and
Carlos.
yes, and today we're going to be sharing our insights into helping you manage your loneliness, feeling alone, whatever is happening. It may take this one video. If we're not done, we're going to do another video. Either way, we're hoping to give you some pointers, some tips on how to combat loneliness and the healthy coping mechanisms that you can use with loneliness. So let's get into it. You were saying?
No, I was just thinking. Okay. I think that we have to separate two symptoms.
Okay.
They are not the same. They don't need to look the same. Loneliness, I would say, you want to be with people, but you feel alone. You feel alone, even if you are not making that contact that you want. And perhaps you have, there is another word, solitude.
Solitude, yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
is where it's your choice. You are opting, you are
To
choosing
be alone.
to be alone, right?
Okay.
So that's a different thing.
Yes.
And I think there are nice, you know what it reminds me? You see that a kind of a similar emotions between excitement and anxiety.
It's been said.
Yes,
I
like
think
a,
Simon Sinek, a couple of people have been saying it's
yes,
the same
kind of a,
emotional
yes, kind of, yes, let's say,
vibration.
yes, let's say that
Energy.
you go to the airport and you are anxious because you are going to fly, or you are
Excited.
excited because you are going to fly. So
Yes.
kind of the same thing.
Yes.
And loneliness and solitude, they have something similar, but you are by your own solitude. You are by your own because you are choosing. Perhaps it's a strategy. It's a time that you need for yourself.
So that's healthy. That's
I
healthy.
would say that that promotes growth,
Yeah.
internal growth.
If
You are
if it's a choice, I would
you are
say that's
cooking
healthy,
something in
right?
your mind. Cooking is fine, right? Say,
Cooking,
you're okay. You're plotting something or cooking. I don't know what is a.
plotting and cooking.
Okay. So, I'm sorry about my English, but it's like that. So
Yes, yes.
you are wondering or elaborating something in your mind, and you prefer to have some time by your own. So you can be in solitude, even surrounded by people. You have your own thing. You have something is going on inside you on purpose.
Choice.
So it's your choice. Now the thing is that the flip side, uh, you want to connect. I'm going to say that the word connect. You want to connect with people,
Yes.
and you are not succeeding. No, that's loneliness.
Yeah.
Surrounded by people or without people, right? So there's kind of a similar um, situations, and
So
but
it's so interesting. Similar situations, different experience,
yes, with and without people.
and different intentions and perspective
I would say so.
within the exact same circumstance.
I would say so. That's what we're saying is kind of anxiety. Looks like perhaps I'm doing a correlation where it doesn't exist, but to me it's kind of the excitement and the anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So in one sense you are choosing to be by your own, and in the other you are not choosing.
Mm-hmm.
That's happening.
So I'm gonna let me elaborate
Yes,
a
yes,
little
yes,
bit.
yes, please,
So
because I'm gonna say
from
something.
my perspective with that, which I do encourage, so you have go within, like Carlos was saying about the solitude, which I would refer to as grounding into yourself,
Yep,
grounding within your spirit, grounding within your inner awareness,
yep,
regrouping, renewing, very purposeful because you're not able to do that with all the noise of people. And years ago, I would call it unplugging. So you unplug the phone and you basically disconnect from not the world, but you go within a nice bubble. Again, that's healthy. The other version is being alone, and like Carlos was saying, the anxiety is you really don't want to be alone, but you don't know how to get out of the circumstance of not having people
yes,
around you that you'd like to have, or the relationship that you'd like to have. And really, the reason why we're talking about this today is it is a part of life, and a lot of us struggle with it's it's just part it's a lot of us just struggle with it. It's part of how we go through all the different phases in life, and yeah, yeah.
yeah. I was thinking there are many different aspects there
Mm-hmm.
that are related to looks like. I'm
Yeah,
gonna say it looks like that is something that is happening to you instead of something that you choose.
the
But
loneliness part.
again, like excitement
Yeah, yes, yes, yes,
and
yeah. I mean,
anxiety, you make a choice
yeah,
because
to some.
I'm gonna portray it in another.
Okay.
We are social animals by definition because it's like where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are in a situation where you are experiencing loneliness, you should have worked your behind to get there. So it's not like a freely, randomly happens that you are by your own. So there is some kind of accountability that, or some assessment that you have to do to arrive to an accountability after,
Yeah,
because
that's the tough part. Mm-hmm.
something happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The result is you are by your own,
Lonely.
alone,
You're
right?
alone. Yeah.
And it's like you feel now that you are not connected to people, what is quite difficult because we were saying the other day, we are already connected.
Yes. One of
Naturally,
our videos talked about that.
nature is that,
Mm-hmm.
right? We are
Mm-hmm.
connected.
Mm-hmm.
We are connected to nature, we are connected to the plant, to the animals, to other people, to living. Life connects.
Yes.
Life is a
Yeah.
connection, right?
Connection.
So um, I, it's it's hard to say, okay, it's your fault. Okay, don't take it like that, but
It is.
we, we are making our way to get to that point of loneliness because perhaps it was finally strategy,
There is.
like the
Okay. So
like your option, right?
so
You see that it's an option and you consciously do it, or you unconsciously do it, and also it was an option and it also is a strategy for you, fortunately, to get stronger, to get in a better place.
sometimes
I'm gonna
sometimes it
say.
strengthens us. Sometimes it doesn't. The key thing is what we're getting at is that it's something that we are encouraging you to figure out how to navigate it. So when Carlos was doing the nice thing of uh, may not have been your fault, may not, it is like, because for instance, you go through a really bad breakup in a relationship. What's your choice? Your choice is, I'm never ever 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 getting into a relationship again. Okay. So now you're choosing to step back from cultivating or nurturing a relationship with someone else. the more that you step back into that role of I'm never, ever, 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 because I'm too afraid, I was hurt, I don't want anyone else to hurt me. Now you're starting to become more and more isolated. Another instance, you have a friend betrays you because they shared something that you told them in confidence, and then now you're like,
Mm-hmm.
nope, I'm never, ever, 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 ever going to have a friend again. Could be a family member, something happens with a sibling, and no, I'm never, ever, ever, ever. So that's what Carlos is saying, that you worked at getting to the point of loneliness. That's one. And then the other is probably maybe there's been deaths. I've had, you know, friends in high school, they have committed suicide or they checked out early because, whatever. But you have to take a good look, big picture look at why are you in a situation right now where you're experiencing loneliness and there's no support that you could actually trust or count on, or
Yes,
something
it's
something
a
like that.
tough
Again,
call.
we're talking out loud.
It's a tough call. What I was saying that again with I don't know if even if it's a good um, comparison, anxiety and excitement, loneliness and solitude, because I think I hope I'm not wrong. I think at the end of the day, is both are a choice.
Excitement or anxiety,
Loneliness,
emotion.
yes.
Oh,
Loneliness and solitude, both are a choice.
mm-hmm.
One is very conscious,
Mm-hmm.
yes, because you have a plan on get grounded, getting better at deciding stuff, whatever it is, right, to grow yourself.
Yes.
And the other is kind of a reaction, unconscious reaction, because something hurts you and you try to
Protect.
protect yourself,
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah.
Anyways, both have been your choice. Now the
So
thing
is
is
the
how.
emotion. So is the emotion. We learn to feel excited and we learn to feel anxious.
Oh, very good.
So we label the emotion over time. You have enough instances that align with what you perceive as excitement, and you have enough instances over time with what you perceive to be anxiety. So we do learn our emotions and we label them based on
Yes.
what we're taught. If that's how you're taught in your home, that oh, you're anxious, okay, I guess you're anxious. But you can unlearn it, and you can unlearn your choices. You it's habitual.
Yes, I was thinking. Okay, now let's say that we are talking to someone that is feeling loneliness, right? So I'm, if I can traduce, translate. If I can translate, if I can translate that, I'm going to say, okay, you are suffering of not making meaningful connections with other people, right? Because you could have acquaintances, people at work,
Yeah.
at school, everywhere,
Yes.
on your neighborhood, and but there is the the sensation of lacking that meaningful connection.
The meaningful connection. That's what starts to make a number within our emotions. So a meaningful connection, you smile with someone. You feel the you feel the emotion of the smile. Even if you didn't talk, there's right? So that's a step of meaningful connection. Or you step out into the world and you decide, nope, I'm not going to smile at anybody, and I'm not going
That's
to
once
going to
again,
have that very not mean face, but very the face of life has done me wrong and nobody's supporting me, and everybody that I trusted, I can't trust them
yeah.
anymore.
We have heard that so much, so many times. People, when you ask about people about why they are feeling and why they behave like that,
Mm-hmm.
everybody has so many reasons why.
Yes, we've
You
learned.
justify
Mm-hmm.
how you are. Obviously, you are going to feel like that.
Yes,
Yes, because
yes,
after everything that has happened, look at that. Everything that has happened in my life, then how I'm not going to feel like that?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're talking from a place of, I'm going to say experience because we both have been married and divorced, so we know what it's like to have your whole world come crashing down and feel very alone. But the chronic aspect of the feeling alone, that's the label of loneliness. So you can be alone, but you don't have to cultivate loneliness in your life.
Yeah,
Does
yes, I
that
was
make
thinking.
sense? Does that
No,
make
I was thinking and trying to relate to personal experiences,
Yeah.
and it has happened to me that after, for instance, divorce, um, divorce doesn't come easily. Well, at least to most of the people, well,
No,
let's say,
it's not.
it's not like a switch on off. We start a new life.
No,
No, right?
no,
It
no.
was a, how do you say when you are derailing?
Yep.
It's slippery slope.
Slippery, slippery,
Okay,
slippery, slippery,
that thing that you
slippery.
and you are derailing until a given point. Okay, it's,
The bottom gives out, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
At that point, you have been losing yourself. You have been losing, perhaps material stuff, not material stuff, emotional stuff,
Yeah.
including friends, relative people that was close to you, people
That tied to the lifestyle
that
or
you were
the
having. So
relationships with
it's
that.
a,
Yeah.
it's such a breakdown. It's such a breakdown.
It is a breakdown.
It's such a breakdown
Yeah.
that when you try to put yourself together and start thinking about how I'm gonna go ahead with my life,
Get up
you
and get going again, right?
yes, you realize that my friends, no one is there.
Yeah.
Because of your circumstances, you were friends related to the relationship.
Yeah.
There are friends that take stances. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So
They
they
choose. They,
start
they
judging.
choose.
Yes, they choose sides.
Choose sides.
Or there are friends that you didn't know that were so judgmental about the. Okay.
Lots of surprises, people. Lots of surprises.
So and it's devastating, right? Because
Yeah.
you is when you are expecting to have some support
Yes. Yes.
and you find
That you
nothing.
don't. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's it. But as everything in life, life is not a picture; it's a movie.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a process.
So that's a
So
nice.
don't get lost on the picture because we are
It's a
living that
journey.
movie.
It's a journey. It's a journey. So that's a nice segue into one of our first points. So I'm managing the points,
Thank you.
and the key thing with that we're gonna say how to overcome the loneliness.
Okay.
Right. We'll use it like that. Is that taking care of yourself? Devastated. Don't want to see anybody.
Look at that.
Don't want to
How,
hear anything.
how you change
right?
the loneliness to solitude. We are talking about the same thing. We are switching. Yes, because now you are choosing to have a strategy to come.
Strategy.
Okay, very nice. Okay.
But not solitude. Strategy, but not solitude.
Okay.
Why? Because we're choosing, at least this is my, and you can, because this is why I enjoy this. Carlos and I have our different takes on things. This is a moment where it's the oxygen mask, putting on the oxygen mask. And when you're in that devastation,
On the flight, well, yes, I do understand what you're saying, but people perhaps say, "What is oxygen mask?" Yes, you are in flight, and there is an emergency. Oxygen mask falls, and they said, "Put it yourself before
put the oxygen mask
on your keys, right? Before taking care of someone else, do it yourself, because on the on the helping of someone else, you are gonna get
you're gonna get hurt.
yes. So
You're not prepared.
because you are not prepared. So
Right?
prepare
So,
yourself first, then
yeah.
after goes after other.
Then exactly. So that thing of prioritizing.
Yes.
So this is where I'm likening it.
And
I'm
yes,
likening it. So it's nice
you're-
that you expanded.
yes, you are not being selfish.
Yeah, but
It's again the strategy. What is the strategy? Take care of yourself.
This is why it's different. This is why I'm saying it's not solitude. This is why I'm saying that you're in the midst of a devastation. It's a crisis. It's an emergency. And so it's nice that you expanded that. The plane is going down, and the first thing you need to do is put your oxygen mask on. So the oxygen mask on could look like taking care of yourself from a hygiene standpoint. Bathe, like like make sure that you're
Yes,
taking regular showers. Make sure
looks
that
so
you're
superficial, but it's not.
it's
No,
so
it's
not.
not.
It's so not. Cleansing is it's ritual. It brings spiritual changes, energetic changes. So the another part of it is physical movement, taking care of yourself. Maybe you're laying in your bed, laying on your couch, curled up under the. It's not the comfort. It's the don't want to face life, debilitating. Get up and move. Just physical movement is putting on your oxygen
We are
mask,
usually saying,
right?
you were saying that in the previous videos, talking about if you are not doing that to someone else, don't do it to yourself. So if you see a
I don't
friend,
remember, but I'm good.
okay,
He remembers.
if you see a friend that is going through that circumstance like you are going through, what are you encouraging? Okay, let's go out. Let's move. Let's go for a walk on the park. Let's do go to the gym. Me, I would say go to the gym. Let's try to be social. Let's go out for so
So
treat
yes,
yourself.
as a
Treat yourself as you would treat someone that you love.
yes, and I know people have different perspectives, but that's just a very general thing to say. Okay, what you would do for someone that you cared about, do it for yourself. Some people might take it however negatively or positively, but we're expressing it in a positive way. That the way how you would take care of someone is that you would want to see them feeling better. That's what we mean. You want to see
Yes.
so you're going to have some kindness of, hey, my friend, let's go have a tea. Hey, my friend, let's go for a walk. Hey, my friend. So we're back to the compassion that you'd share with someone that if you saw them struggling, you now have to be that type of compassion to yourself. So back to the oxygen mask or staying on the oxygen mask, it's look at if you're dealing with the loneliness right now, what are ways that you're neglecting? That's why it's so nice what Carlos just said. Neglecting nutrition, neglecting your physical, neglecting your space. Are you cleaning your home?
Yeah, well,
Your
something to
room?
consider when we were talking about relationship, because finally, don't making contact, that is what it make you feel bad or sad, not making true contact, is something is missing in that relationship that you are not having, but let's say that you are looking for, trying to establish a relationship. So
Yes.
what are you bringing to the table? Your sadness or a smile? Bring a smile. Let's start from the get go.
Yeah. Yes.
Show like you want to be with someone.
Yeah. At least.
Show
At least.
show some openness.
Yeah.
Um,
And we are coming from the standpoint, I'm just going to say that, we're coming
yeah,
from a standpoint of pain because the reason why you're not showing that you're open to someone is because you have gone through feelings of betrayal or you feel like you've been let down, your disappointment.
pains.
Disappointment in
I saw in
relationships,
a study.
disappointment in
There was a study saying that
family situations.
it's similar. The pain that you have when you are with loneliness is similar to it's touching the same areas on the brain that when you break a bone. So that kind of is
Ooh.
that's
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't know it.
okay. Whatever it is, yes,
That's how painful it is.
is how painful it is.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Can become as painful as that.
Yeah.
So, but yes, tell me.
Sorry, well, you just made me think of the other proven thing is the broken heart. So, the broken heart, that's strategy symptom, a broken heart syndrome, something along the lines of the devastation that you've experienced, whether it
but
is a love relationship,
it's an expression in English. You have an expression when say someone is
the broken heart.
that you are broken. The
You're
person is
broken.
broken.
You're
That's an
broken,
expression in
but
English.
it is. But you just made me think of the fact that uh, part of the oxygen mask on is if you don't allow yourself, your heart to repair, it will have physical ramifications
For sure.
on the body because
Yes.
that broken heart, don't quote me, I think it's syndrome, but it's something that now the body starts to not want to continue to survive.
Oh, your emotion is going to affect your
Your
body, but
emotions
that's
are
just a
exactly.
yes, that's for granted.
Exactly.
Like
Right?
a positive emotion is going to contribute to your healing. Yes.
Yeah.
So negative emotions.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
You can make your
oxygen mask on in the sense of the loneliness, we are saying first start with how you show up. Bathe, wash your face, wash your hair, clean your environment. Sounds all silly, but if you're in that state of loneliness and you're allowing your
for
environment to fall
for those
apart,
who have been around or ever seen your friends feeling
broken,
broken,
yeah,
that's it's an emotional state that brings not just the person, it brings all the environment.
yes,
Everything is broken.
yes, yes.
Yes, don't open the fridge because the fridge is a disaster.
Nothing is fresh, no fresh foods. Again, neglect. The sign is neglect. So if you're in this, and having the flip side now, if you're done with the loneliness and you don't want to have that be part of your reality anymore, start cleaning things up. Dump all the stuff in the fridge that's spoiled. Go take a shower. Start picking up all the takeout containers. The empty
yes, a
what do you
shower.
call it? Ice
You
cream
you were
things.
we were talking about cleansing,
Cleansing.
and I do remember who I don't remember was telling me that taking a shower is a cleansing, right? So imagine that you are have mud on your over your skin, and the water is uh, what is it? Washing, right?
Yeah.
Removing all the mud. Do that for a few minutes, and you feel renewed.
So would the
Yes,
mud be the emotions of
yes.
betrayal, lack of trust,
Yes,
anxiety,
all
depression, sadness,
all the negative emotions
of the
on the
loneliness,
yes that you
betrayal?
carry with. Okay, try to figure out that you have all that burden that you have on yourself is over your skin, and take a shower and you start rinsing that, right? They
Yes,
say
yes.
washing that.
Fantastic visual, fantastic visual. So I'm gonna, because I'm not I'm hearing this as we're having it. So the visualization is that you step into the shower, you have the awareness that mud that's covering your body
Yes,
is filled with all of the emotional negative things that you've been burdened with, that you're carrying. And as the shower, or as you're having the shower, you are intentionally removing,
yes.
letting go,
Have the
washing,
have that visual of
of it
the mother that is
cleansing off of you.
falling, right?
Yes.
Falling and
And going down the drain,
exactly.
you're washing it away.
Very, very, very nice image, because we usually say that the kind of energies they have to go through the center of the earth. Well, that doesn't
Yes.
matter; it's
Yes.
metaphysical stuff, but that's the emotion, right? Do you
Yeah.
get drowned and it's
If you're connected to metaphysical, yes. What Carlos is saying, the energy goes all the way through to the center of the earth,
yes,
and it's, I'm gonna say, it matters if you are relating to that. I use that a lot in yoga. You ground all the way through to the center of the earth. If that's what you need, that's where you start, right?
yes, it's a very nice one, and the other is start thinking about, I would say, perhaps thinking about what you are going to share. What do you have to share
With other people.
with other people?
Nice
So
segue. Nice segue. So before you go there,
yes,
because we do it that we now we're doing the um,
can you
one
read?
nurture.
So it's like a
So
mystery what you are unveiling there. We have another tip, okay?
nurture a few friendships, and nurture a
Ooh,
few good friendships, So when you say
Well, we were talking
so when
about
you
that.
say
Yes,
what
yes,
you're
yes.
gonna share, it could be one friendship at a time. But what are you showing up with? Smiling, something that you,
So
right?
tough because when you feel down,
Mm-hmm.
in fact, it's a kind of a claiming for help, right? So I
The
feel bad,
the
and I
loneliness
want
and the
someone
isolation.
to come and how is it, pat? How is it when someone does like that?
Soothe,
Well,
pat, rub,
do
touch,
that to me, right?
touch. Yes,
Yes,
comfort, comfort.
comfort,
Yes,
some kind
yes,
of comfort.
yes.
So you are asking for some kind of comfort, but be mindful that people in the planet is not there for you to comfort you, right? So there's people that have other needs, that have they like other
Yes,
stuff.
yes,
So if you want to become social and make um,
connections.
connections again with old friends, new friends, well, perhaps the comfort that you are looking for is going to have its own time, its own moment.
Yes.
It's not going to be on the forefront because you cannot start a relationship. You know what? I need some
Like this.
comfort first. So then after we can talk. No.
Because if it starts like this with someone that you don't have a
Yes, they're gonna say, no,
rapport
get
with,
out of me. What are you doing? Get out of me.
they're gonna well, get off, get off.
Get off. Get off. Thank you.
It's more that they're gonna feel that you're needy
Yes.
and clingy. That's what this feels like.
Cleanly.
Clingy. Yeah, so clingy like this. Please help me.
Nice.
That's the clingy.
Nice.
But
Again.
if it
Again.
happens too soon,
Yeah.
if it
So
happens too soon, it's misinterpreted.
yes. Yeah. The thing is that the idea I think in relationships is that we have something to share. Not the need, right? We have something to share, something to give, not to ask.
And I'm telling you, I know it's really tough
It is very
if you're
tough.
dealing with the feeling
It's easy to
of
say. It's easy to say
loneliness.
because you are empty. That's the thing. You are.
Your needs are you want someone to give you that hug. You want someone to. I know that's my awareness of
It
my
is.
own loneliness is that I want someone to come and comfort me and take care of me. The other part that I know we struggle with, and I'm saying it very general. If it's not you, no problem. But the other part that we struggle with is that within that loneliness, we have so much love. We have so much love to give, and where is the person to give it to? Where are the people to give it to? So you have all this good feeling wrapped up inside of you, and you look around your home or your place, and you're just like, where's that? Where's
Well,
it? Feel
that's
the love almost feels trapped
yes.
there, right?
Coming back to the analogy, for there are two emotions that are quite close there.
Yeah.
I think that when that one of the you are paying a price with the loneliness, right? You are paying a price. Same thing when it's your choice. Both were your choice. One was conscious and the other unconscious. But the thing is that in that moment of solitude, loneliness, you did a step back. You were learning about yourself, about your limits, about what you need, about what you have to, what really you have to share for sharing or for giving for uh, no how say that what do you have available for sharing, right? On your life. So obviously you are learning a lot about yourself, that you have to be aware that you are learning a lot about yourself. Now those two is too deep, thick, let's say, as emotional, and it's not the best thing to move on the forefront, to put on the forefront for new relationship. Perhaps an old friend is going to be willing to listen that kind of stuff, but new friends have to
Yeah.
take it with a pinch of salt. Take it with a someone that you are getting
Well,
slowly.
you're gonna have to build a rapport
We are going to have to be,
with
yes, and I don't know if everybody is willing to go as deep as you would like to sometimes.
yes,
So
yeah. The other, I'm gonna kind of go
yes,
back a little bit with what you're saying with the solitude. To me, solitude doesn't have to happen as an opposite to loneliness, because solitude is something, like you said, it's a choice. It can happen at any point in your time, any point in your life, that you, within your growth of self-awareness, you decide to regroup, to step away, to
Yeah. Okay.
whereas the loneliness is, I think the loneliness is a symptom of lacking, not trusting relationships, deciding that, it's way too hard to nurture a relationship. It's not worth it. Somehow the community and family dynamics, things falling apart, even coming from a Christian church background, losing faith in, if you're in some type of community, you start losing faith within your community. But the loneliness, to me, it starts to become the breakdown of the extensions of, whether it's family, work, school, wherever you're coming from. Whereas solitude, like I said, to me, it can happen at any time. But solitude is a positive thing, and you have to be emotionally mature to choose solitude.
Yes, it's so
That's
to
my take.
against anxiety and excitement. They are so similar. It's just a perspective what we are looking. Why? Because
Yeah.
I think that you learn on both. You choose on both, willingly or unwillingly. You are choosing on both, and it's part of your life or just a moment on both.
Yeah, but I'm saying this video is about loneliness and the struggle of finding your way out of the loneliness. And it's important to, even like you shared earlier, know, we can say backtrack, go and figure out the decisions as to what led you here. But solitude, to become self-aware and to become mindful, I'm just putting it in a category of, um, I put it in a category of emotional maturity. Loneliness is crisis, devastation.
Yes,
Really,
yes, yes,
like
and then you have the
really,
overall feeling until we do the assessment
yeah.
that you should be doing. We have the feeling like you are a victim of that
Absolutely,
circumstance,
that's what we're talking about.
and
That's
in
what we're here
fact,
to talk about.
as we were saying or not saying, trying not to say, it was your fault because you get there. I'm sorry. It
Yes.
was a decision that you make unconsciously, but you make your way to get there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So now is the time to stop complaining, and start rebuilding your way back.
That's the point of why we're having this,
Stop bitching. It's
because
not. It's not. No, it doesn't sound good. No,
but
you're.
that's the reason we're saying this, because I know how debilitating it is. I've been there.
It is.
The water, to me, I didn't have it as mud, but I had it as taking a shower was my emotional comfort. When the sadness or depression became too much, I would just step into the shower and just
Oh,
rinse with
because it
some
has
water.
the other side, the water or the
The
sensation of that water, cold, warm, whatever it
Yes,
is the thing of the energy coming from top, right? The clear, the
there
white light or
there's
golden light
but
that is coming to you
but
and
I'm gonna be
filling your
honest,
body.
I wasn't thinking any of that. I was thinking I'm about to fall down, and I start to realize that fall down, meaning I'm so overwhelmed with the sadness of whether it was the divorce or just whatever. I'm looking at crisis moments when emotionally I didn't feel strong enough to put one foot in front of the other, or I couldn't have a clear thought. Water was my saving grace. And so
It
just
is.
being in the shower cleared my mind. And then, yes, then, like Carlos is saying, then there's that energy that flows through you. Then there's the intuitive. Then there's the. So
Yes,
that was.
I think that the cruel part that you have to cruel, raw, part that you have to go through is the assessment or the acceptance why you are there.
Yeah.
Why do you want to continue there?
Yes. Yeah.
Because for a while it feels great to be leave behind and no one loves you and you have a bunch of reasons.
The devastation is.
The devastation, yes.
Yeah, we identify with
It
it.
feels great.
Yeah.
Because it justifies any single thing in your life is already justified.
Yeah.
Because your dad, your mom, your auntie, whoever it was, your exes, your no exes, your friends, they did something awful, right?
Yes.
Now, but that happens in the past.
And the truth is, they probably did. They probably did all those
For
things.
sure, no,
and,
but
and they hurt,
absolutely.
they hurt you.
No one said that it's a fantasy. It could be a fantasy also, but let's say that it's not a
That it's
fantasy.
not, and it's real.
Let's say that it's real. That happens in the past, yes, and it has an emotional impact. Okay, until up to when? Until you decide that it's enough.
That yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, but it has to be your choice.
Yeah.
That you say, okay, you know what? That happens a while ago, a few minutes ago, a few years ago, whatever it is, a while ago for you. That is enough. At a given point, the suffering coming for something that is in the past is something inexistent in this moment. It's not like it continue pinching you, right? Poking you or cutting your limbs. No, it's not happening.
Yeah.
It already happened.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Why you are pushing my?
That doesn't shake the camera.
I'm sorry. No, but the camera is there. Okay. Logistics.
Little technical behind the scenes.
Logistics. I'm
So
doing no.
just
No.
to, so just so that we stay on, we are staying on course. I just want to remind our process. So we talked about the oxygen mask in terms of take care of yourself, self-care, however you want to look at it, hygiene, environment. Very important. You need to make sure that you're okay before you can turn to someone else. And the other way you can look at it, you need to make sure you're okay before you can even have a relationship with someone else coming into your life, whether it is a friend, casual, right? So we go from the oxygen mask.
And I'm not talking.
We go from the oxygen mask, and then we go to the external, the community. Show up with something to share. A smile, a good attitude, a positive sense of self-awareness. Show up with something that would be attractive to someone else, because, and I say this to clients also, it's like people are not going to come around you if you don't have a nice feeling about you. No one's coming to cultivate anything with you if it doesn't feel good to be in your energy. And you wouldn't do the same. You wouldn't go around someone who doesn't feel good. So yes, you're coming from a really tough place, that you're in isolation, that you're struggling with loneliness, that you don't have the support you need. And unfortunately, the way how this works is you need to save yourself first. That's how it works. There's no one coming to save you. You need to save yourself first, and then we go from there. The last thing that we're now going to touch on is, and I think this is a nice one, it's schedule intentional breaks that are meaningful and with boundaries.
Can I say something before turning the page?
Yeah, but I'm just saying we're gonna go to that. That's our last point.
Because
so we have 3 points. Yes.
Something that happened is what I have seen is people trying to make up with the next relationship. Meaning, the person that shows up in your life has to put on with everything that happens previously to you.
So that I'm going to tweak that a little bit, because that's not about loneliness. That's about just baggage.
Okay, we are not going to be talking about that
That's just baggage. But you can share.
It's just because when you are trying to get out of that loneliness, and you are not taking your own accountability. Thank you.
Okay.
And you are not 100% accountable. That is your thing, your own thing that you have to put together.
Yeah.
It's like we try to do some transfer, right? So we try to make a relationship, and the next person we are asking them to do the extra, walk the extra mile,
Yes.
asking to have too many expectations,
Yeah.
having too high the judgment. So the bar is so high for the next one in line that it's not fair.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I,
saying do baby steps with the relationships, right? It's not fair. We are not in a right place, emotionally in a right place to start making judgment about people. Not so easy, not so
not
fast.
yeah, not so well, the judgment comes too because it's still a fear. We're still fearful of being vulnerable. So I think the
Yes.
judgment comes from
Yeah,
that
and
place.
that's a good symptom for us to say, okay, I'm not ready for.
But we're not talking about that. That's not.
Okay,
It's
no.
not about relationships. We're not. This. That's not.
Eventually,
That's
if
not.
someone wants to dig in that what is called rabbit hole,
There's previous
uh,
videos about relationships, and we'll probably circle back around. We just started, so we're gonna have lots of opportunity. But right now, it's just isolating the subject of your struggle with loneliness. What Carlos, and I like the fact that you are touching on it, for you to be mindful that you have baggage from all of your previous relationships. That's there, whether it's friendship, family, work colleagues, school, whatever your history is to this
yes,
point when you're here,
whatever
right?
make you be
Become who
alone.
you are, or yeah.
Yes,
the
it was
the
not it was not randomly
it
happened,
wasn't
right?
random, but we're not talking about how to now like go into a relationship. We're talking about the struggles and how you the struggle with finding yourself in an isolated, lonely life that you don't want to be in, and what are the steps that you can start taking to get yourself out of that isolation, right?
Good.
And out of that lonely life. And so the baby step would be a very, I'm going to even say superficial, friendship. Friendship in the sense of finding your way to figure out what do you have to give.
Yes,
Can you even hold a smile
yes.
long enough?
Be social, right? Be open, social, show
But it's
clean.
baby step of that
Yes, show a
social.
smile,
Show a
show yourself
smile,
clean,
show up
smile, and
positive.
yes,
Yeah.
and
Comb your hair, brush your teeth,
no
wear some
negative
clean
comment,
clothing.
no negative comments. I try to avoid that
Yes, and
because we have a natural.
simple form of communication. See how well you're able to listen. That
What
would
are the
be,
people have to share?
yeah.
People love to be
See if
heard.
you're interested in what the person is saying, right? So some basic things that actually are key ingredients to nurturing the potential of a good friendship, the potential of um, a mate, partner, that type of thing. So that's what we're talking about. So our third last point, I'll repeat it. It's that you
Yes,
schedule intentional breaks that are meaningful. And I added this little thing with boundaries. So the with boundaries, all that means is that um, don't say yes to things that you don't really want to do. It's it's being mindful of. Don't just say yes so that you can connect with someone because you want to run away from your loneliness. You don't want to face the
okay.
feelings. You don't want to. So now you're showing up in a situation and you really don't want to be there, but you'd rather be there than deal with the truth of what you're actually feeling. So that's a little complicated when you're dealing with a little
Yes,
complexity
I
with
usually
dealing with
say in
emotions.
the business terms do a cost benefit analysis, right? It's a and in the terms of not money, right, of the convenience of the thing. What are the benefits of what you are against the cost of emotionally cost benefit analysis on your emotions.
So you have to make that simple for the rest of us, because that is not a simple statement. What's a cost benefit analysis? What's
Well,
a cost benefit analysis? Let's go back to something. Meaningful breaks. That means you need to know what it is that has value to you. So if it's a meaningful break and you're not there yet, figure out something that is actually meaningful, right? So what could that look like for you,
okay, so
right?
let's say that is an emotional, right? Because cost benefit comes usually from the standard is about money, right? Cost and benefit of about money. Then after it is expanded to the multiple sources of information, right?
Okay.
The evaluation is way bigger.
Yes.
Emotionally now, let's say you are saying what is the commitment? Commitment is a big part of relationship. So don't commit to things that you are not able to
Don't say yes.
don't say yes. For instance, is a friend see that is a good opportunity, say inviting you to go to the gym. Let's go to the gym together. Perhaps it's too much.
Yeah.
Perhaps I don't know. Perhaps it's a fantastic idea. Perhaps it's a fantastic idea, but not right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Why? So because the benefit is you are going to be related to more people. You are becoming social, but the cost is you don't feel like yet.
And it's not an
So,
activity you might want to do. So
but perhaps you can go for a coffee. Yes,
yeah. So
easy,
yeah.
easy. Take things in easy, one step of at the time. That's the cost benefit of figure out if you are going to be in good shape. Try to be in good
To
shape.
go. To go.
To go, to accept, to engage, to share.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that okay, stop and think it twice, because the idea is you are going to be exposed, but expose yourself gradually
To yes.
to become stronger, right?
Yes.
It's what we do with kids, right? We try to expose them to bigger, higher responsibilities
Yes.
for them to grow. I mean, okay, do the same, take the same care with yourself,
Yeah.
and do baby steps. Be
Yeah.
consistent. Do baby steps.
Because there's a concept there. If we kind of as we're coming more to the end of this, it's when we start at the beginning, we were giving the instance that you can be in a situation where there's a lot of people around you and you feel lonely,
Yep.
and you know there's not deep connections or whatever's happening. This is where we get to a place where um, you're lonely within a busy schedule, which is so crazy, right? Things are happening. You're busy, busy, busy doing almost nothing, but you're just avoiding the emotional anxiety, as Carlos was saying. You're trying to stay away from what you really need to deal with, which is maybe you don't have the meaningful relationships, you don't have the connections, you're not having people that you can get the support from that you actually need. And so this last one is a little bit of a hurdle, that when you need to take the meaningful break, and that's where you might have to choose solitude, choose to go deeper, choose to
Yes,
do
because
something helpful.
at the end of the day, that
And when the boundary is that you're being somewhere in there, you know that you need to take some time for yourself, and maybe the distraction is a friend or somebody or some situation comes in and it's like, no, come to the gym or come to this, or that's when you're going to have to be able to say no and go to the place of solitude. And
yes, you have to find a balance on this, right? On how to balance um, time with meaningful connections and superficial connections. So because
yes, 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 yes.
this isolation
Isolation.
This
Yes. Yes.
isolation that
Yeah.
is overwhelming
Mm-hmm.
is my definition, perhaps our definition,
Yeah.
is the lack of meaningful connections.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Yes.
meaningful connections is not something that you need every day.
Mm,
You, you are too needy. I'm sorry. But why? Because
you're only saying that because you already have meaningful connections every day. So,
I do have meaningful connection every day, but I have been in places where I don't have every day.
yes.
I do have every now and then,
Yeah.
and it's fine. But I am a guy that likes a lot. I enjoy solitude, right?
Yes.
I
Yes.
enjoy being by my own
Yes.
and thinking and my own bubble and
Yep.
world and
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
and until someone comes and take me out from there and
Yeah.
say, okay, now start to be social. Okay, no
Yeah.
problem. Gonna be social with you. Um, but so I'm saying that it's if the thing is that you need some connection like every day, so like it looks like to me that you like to be um, when you don't. How is this? I'm gonna have to cut this thing here and continue.
Well,
Uh,
when you need connection, when
distracted,
you
distracted.
distraction.
You are looking for distraction. That's a different ball game.
Yeah,
It's
but that's
nice.
not meaningful connection every day.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's not a meaningful connection every day. You are looking
No.
for a distraction. That's a different thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what you want to identify. Is it a distraction that you,
And it's great to
so
have
that you
distractions.
you don't have to deal with whatever it
But
is you need to deal with?
but distractions is gonna lead you to consume the time or the energy that you need for meaningful. So
Yeah.
that's what I was saying, some
The
kind of
balance.
balance. Try to
Yeah.
find a balance, right? Like
Yeah.
distractions are great. Having fun is fantastic, but you need the meaningful connection.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
don't lose track on that, and have a couple of, I'm saying couple
But
of good friends.
it's in the context that you don't have the fun and you don't have the good friends and you don't have you we this is the moment where you're in a situation where you don't have that support and you're looking to figure out how to build that into your life. So um, that's a complexity here. That's what we
Yes,
understand.
I
We know that, like we shared, you go through a divorce or a breakup and you lose those friendships, and you have to rebuild your support from the ground up, and in the midst of that you still have to figure out when to put the oxygen mask on, when to choose the right people.
yes.
Sometimes the desperation of I know I've been in desperate feeling of wanting to be connected to someone, so yes, I'm going to go to the distraction and don't take the time to be in the meaningful
No, I
moment,
say it's such
so,
such a great analogy because of description, because I was saying happens with a scientific when you are trying something
yeah,
from
the
the quality.
scientific method.
Yeah, when you the quality comes from quantity. So a scientific tries 100 times,
Okay,
a
okay.
thousand times
Yeah.
until one is good. It's gonna it's gonna happen the same with relationships, right? You are gonna have a bunch of relationships that you have to try to get social to have a relationship, and one is gonna be good.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
gonna be
Yeah.
meaningful,
Yeah.
but you have to get to those
Yeah.
relationships first. So one baby step at a time,
And then
be
that
consistent.
starts the momentum to
Exactly.
help you to start now coming out of the loneliness and the isolation. So you do have to do it with a bit of trust. You have to do it with a bit of belief that just because one instance didn't work, you're gonna try it again. So the steps to come out of the loneliness and isolation
Yes.
is not a one and done. It's not like, okay, you know.
Yes, circumstances also are related. They have some correlation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say friends, deep friends. Perhaps you are not gonna find in a disco place.
A
What is it called?
disco. A club.
A club, a club. Perhaps it's gonna be
Sometimes, maybe. No, I'm just
maybe,
teasing.
but
I don't know.
the odds are like a yes, and perhaps where you are doing, let's say you like, in my case, I do photography. Um, in a photography club, perhaps
Yeah.
because they are more related to
An
deep emotion,
interest?
yes, and deep emotions, right?
Yes, yes.
Photography is a way that you express your art, your emotions comes out from, I don't know, music or yes. So there are things that are quite a little more superficial, and others that go more, that sink more close to yourself, yourself.
So that can be a way that you, let's say you take a meaningful break from the loneliness and isolation. So go and do a photography class because that's a break from your loneliness and isolation
In
life,
my case, yes,
right?
but
Or
do something that you
you
deeply
do
love, right? Deeply understand or like.
if you don't have an idea, start there. Take our idea, photography. Take our idea of go riding. Go ride like riding a bike. If you like to ride a bike, go for.
Exactly. I don't know if you
But
like
but
concert.
but
When it's an orchestra, a symphonic, whatever. Go there
I would say something. I said ride a bike, but I'm going to take it back because that's still an isolated thing. But you do get yourself
you
moving.
get in the group.
So with the orchestra, I would nothing to me that's similar to a club. Maybe something a little quieter that you can actually have conversations
Oh yes,
with
yes. I said because I do like. It's
music.
my wolf side saying go to listen to music by your own. And you don't have to talk to anyone. But and we are all happy, or aren't we? We are happy. We're fine.
So
Have
go.
a good night. That's all.
So yeah, it's even in that the decision within that balance of something that's of interest, but you have enough of a few people around that hopefully you can have a conversation, and then go back to your isolation and loneliness. It's that type of give and take, right? Get up from where you are, leave your home, go to some type of meetup or some community
Yes.
something, and choose as close as possible to something that you actually would have an
Yes,
interest in.
I think that the key thing, as you said, choose now. You were saying control. Also, I think that is to be back in control of your own life, because for a given situation that you perhaps quite not understand right now, you find yourself in a lonely, isolated situation.
Yeah.
So start being in control again
Yeah.
of your life.
Yeah.
Start making your way back, one step at a time.
Yeah.
One
One
step,
step at a time.
one
Yes.
step at a time.
Yes.
Put yourself together.
Mm-hmm.
Show to the world that you are not lost. You are there, and you are ready to make your way
And
back.
allow people to find you, right? I like what you said. Show to the world. It's not you're not necessarily needing people outside to validate your existence, but become
You're not the center.
become seen.
Yes, you're not the center of the planet, right? So that means there are people that perhaps is going to need you, right? It's not that you
True.
need things from people and you are the only one that needs. No, there are people that are going to need
Yeah.
you. So it needs your
Yeah.
support, your advice, your tutoring, whatever it is.
Actually, so there is another thing that where you can start, which I think that's it's a heart activity. People that need you, so go do some volunteering. The heart activity of giving of yourself is another way that triggers good feeling hormones. You feel
Yes.
like you have a purpose, because
Oh,
sometimes
that's
the
great.
loneliness and isolation is that
It's a great idea.
you have no purpose. You're not contributing to the
Oof.
world, or something, right? That bigger our it speaks to our bigger or higher purpose. Maybe
Yes.
that, yeah,
The
right?
betterment of the society, of the community of.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. So that motivates you. That gives you some fire that you can.
Yes, and as soon as that's an amazing idea,
Mm-hmm.
because as soon as you do some community service.
Community service or it's a heart
Okay,
activity. I'm gonna say it's
hard
a heart
activity
activity.
like that. The payback, the energetic payback that you receive from people that are in need,
Yes, yes, yes,
from someone that is able to share, to give a little bit,
yes.
the payback is like to charge
The batteries.
to charge the
Yeah,
batteries, right?
yeah.
To charge the car, to charge
And
the battery.
it's scientifically proven that it heals the heart.
For sure,
Yeah. It
for
heals
sure.
all that brokenness. It heals the
Yes, no doubt,
yeah, yeah,
no doubt.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a great idea. I
yeah,
think it's
yeah,
the
yeah,
best.
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
So hopefully we've got you to a place of choose one, choose all three, something that makes you feel, hopefully it feels maybe an easy step that you can do without it feeling overwhelming.
and think about that. There is a process.
Yes,
We live in a
yes,
process.
yes,
It's not
yes.
a life is not static, like we were saying before. It's like a picture, and it's there. It's gonna stay like that. No, it's not. It's a process, and whatever happens before happens before. It's
Yeah,
not happening now.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
now is the seed of what is gonna happen after.
yeah.
So it depends on what you want to do after.
So this is what I'm mindful of. When you stop watching this video, emotionally, you might lose the endorphins that you're getting from us because we're encouraging you. We are, we're an extension of what you hope for. You're aspiring. You want to be able to have the energy to get up off the couch and, get out there. And so I want you to have us in your head a little bit telling you that take the action, proper action, of either volunteering, doing something of interest. Just
Yes,
just get there, and that is going to the emotions will take it from there. But you do have
yes.
to put on the clothes, put on the shoes, get out the door,
That's
and show
very,
up,
very
and just
nice.
have. If we can just be that little bit of a momentum for you, please use that. Take that.
Yes, yes. I'm going to bounce in the idea of the picture and the movie because static and dynamic are the game changers, right?
Yes.
So don't stay where you are. Move.
Move. Yeah.
If you are sitting, okay,
Move.
stand up.
Yeah.
Go to the kitchen. If
Yeah.
you are in a couch, okay, get up
Yes.
and start go
Yes.
for a walk. Do a walk around the
Walk
block.
around.
Yes,
Well, I was gonna
do
say
something
walk
because
around the table.
move
Walk around the
move
couch.
is a physical representation of life. So
The doing.
of doing.
The
So it's
doing.
so good. So
So if you can't get out the door, I'm serious. Get up, walk around your room. Like Nelson Mandela walked around his cell, exercised within his cell, kept going. That's a little bit of an awareness
the awareness
of
and
what,
also
right?
the awareness of I'm doing something for myself. I always
Yes, even that, the
bounce on that thing.
reinforcement.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I'm sitting and stand up, and
That's
sit
your
and stand
oxygen
up,
mask.
and
Simple.
sit and stand up, I'm doing this for
Yes,
myself because I want to get better.
that's
Me, I want to get better, right?
yeah.
I'm not waiting for anyone to come to.
Well, no one's coming. I'm sorry, but that you have to kind of take that in.
No, perhaps you
Um,
have you are lucky to watch a video like that or someone and it is encouraging you. So
yes,
okay, okay.
yeah.
Take that like it's your gift from Earth, from the
No one
universe.
came. No one came to save me from my own isolation and loneliness.
No,
No one came and dragged me up off the couch or picked me up when I felt debilitated. No one came. And even when I was in that state emotionally, people would say, "Let's get going. Let's do this." That didn't have an effect until I said, "Ingrid, get going, move." Like
yeah, motivation
I don't
come.
know how you got yourself.
Well, motivation is everywhere, but the thing is, has to trigger in yourself your motivation, right?
Do you remember some of your motivators? How did you get yourself going?
I have two things.
You have two things.
Two things.
Okay.
One, I'm going to say that because I apply for many things.
Okay.
One is if you want to get somewhere, That's one motivator, and
That was your motivator. You
the
wanted
other,
to get somewhere.
and the other motivator is you want to leave from where you are. You don't want to continue where you are. So you
What
have.
did you tell yourself? What was your? Let's make it personal. What did you? How did you get yourself moving?
I wanted to leave from where I was,
Okay.
so I was looking for something
So
better.
the future. You had a
Yes,
future.
but it's kind of the hope and the fear at the same time, right?
Okay. Okay.
Fear of what you are is not a good place, but you have to be mindful that where you are,
This is
yes,
very personal to you.
is not a good
So
place.
you did not want to stay where you were.
No, it was a bad place.
You wanted to leave,
So
and in order to
kind of
motivate
desperate, you
yourself,
start looking for something
you
else, right?
start to look. Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying
And
I
then
have two.
Yes.
I don't know which one is exactly right, but one is fear, and I would say fear is one of the strongest
That
emotions that you
was your
have.
push. Because
Yes.
we're gonna make it personal. We're not making it about. We're just saying this is our example. You left because the fear of staying where you were
Yes.
was.
Yes, it's a fear
there.
of dying, right? Dying there.
You didn't want that to be your reality.
No, I didn't want.
Right?
I was afraid of dying, so yes. Move.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a great motivator.
Survival, right? It's survival
Yes,
mode. Yes,
yes,
yes, I'm staying
yeah.
here, I'm done.
Yeah. So if you're in the midst of
it
that,
should be a better life somewhere else, right? So I can move.
Yes, yeah. Very nice. Fear of where you are. Sometimes some people will say you're sick and tired of what's happening, or you're fed up,
But
and
you
you're
have to get
done,
to that point, right?
and then it's a push
That's
to
why we
go
were saying
towards the hope.
I don't want to make it feel bad, but it was your fault because wherever I got to, it was my wrongly choices, right? My wrong choices,
Right,
I say
yeah,
bad
yeah.
choices,
Yeah.
bad options, and wrongdoing, and so many things.
Yes, that's pretty much how we end up where we end up. So
Yep.
that's the overall is utilize us. That's what we're here for, to motivate you to get out of your loneliness, get out of your isolation. Do something.
Yes,
If
move.
that's all that you can take from this video, get up, start moving, do something. Right? It's Ingrid
Carlos.
and subscribe, share, like.
Yes. Yes, and comment about
If you have any
yes,
questions, if you're
struggles that you want to
struggling,
share to talk about.
yes,
Yes.
please.
She's not answering, but maybe I'm gonna.
Yeah, he's gonna he's gonna do that.
I'm gonna answer.
See ya at the beach. See ya at the beach. Talk soon.